All right, so we have gotten some contract news via Tom Morris and Channel 9 about some veterans. Let's look into it. So tonight, Tom Morris came out on Channel 9 and said this.
Yes, Tony, we've got a triple treat for your Nine News tonight. I can tell you that Scott Pendlebury, Jeremy Howe and Steele Sidebottom have all agreed to terms to play on in 2026. Now, these signatures are yet to be signed formally, but they're not far away and they could come as early as the next few days. So Brody Mihocek and Jamie Elliott are just waiting at the moment. They're free agents, and Mason Cox and Tom Mitchell have been asked to wait until the end of the year.
Now, although the contracts haven't been signed, the terms have been agreed. Now, there was some talks that Jeremy Howe might look elsewhere. I think Mitch Cleary was I think they threw that out there as a possibility. But that means that Scott Pendlebury takes on Boomer Harvey's record and is sure to break it next season. I'm sure that's not the only reason why he's signing. He's still playing good football. Same with Steele Sidebottom, was best on ground for Collingwood on the weekend. And I know Jeremy Howe has been injured, but he's such an important cog to our machine. It's just crazy to think that Pendlebury is playing his 21st season next year. 20 years in the league is just nuts. And if you look at some of the players that were in his draft year that aren't playing anymore, it is just unbelievable. So in the 2005 draft, Collingwood, Carlton, and Hawthorn all had priority picks. With our first pick, we took Dale Thomas, who's not playing. Mark Murphy, Carlton took with pick number 1. Xavier Ellis, Josh Kennedy, obviously went to West Coast. Scott Pendlebury at number 5, and you just keep going down, and there are some absolutely incredible names here, like Sean Higgins, Jones, Shannon Hearn, Varco as well, who finished his career at Collingwood. Bernie Vince, very serviceable for Adelaide. Couple of best and fairest. Andrew Swallow, North Melbourne, absolute bloody legend. Look, it wasn't a super packed draft, but Joel Patfull played over 200 games for Brisbane. Matthew Stokes as well. Wild to think that Scott Pendlebury is playing on, and then you add Steele Sidebottom and Jeremy Howe to that list. Mid-30s, I'm 33, and I can't imagine playing, one, I just can't imagine playing just in general, but two, just playing at this age is just mind-blowing, and still playing at the top. They all have said in separate sort of interviews, stuff like that, they will give up the football before football gives up on them, right? And their bodies still clearly are holding up. I know Jeremy Howe's been injured, but their body's still clearly holding up, and they're ready to go and help Collingwood wherever they can next season. Now, I wanted to make this video just to go over who is still uncontracted for the 2025 season and what that's kind of looking like going forward. Now, if you'll see this list here, I'll start rattling off the names. Jamie Elliott, Finn McRae, Mason Cox, Tom Mitchell, Will Hoskin-Elliott, Frampton, Pendlebury, Sidebottom, and Howe all have agreed to terms, so they all will have pretty much signed. And then you look at the rookie list of players that are getting out of contract at the end of the year. Oleg Markov, Charlie Dean, Noah Howes, Rowan Steele, both our mid-season draftees signed 6-month contracts. Ash Johnson and Lockie Sullivan. Now, going through these names, I'll update you on what we know about them so far. Now, Jamie Elliott has a 2-year deal in front of him. They're at a stalemate at the moment, his management and the club. I don't know if it's extra money or if it's maybe an extra year, but he has 2 years in front of him. Finn McRae, he's just coming back from an injury, so we don't really know much about where his contract stands. He obviously signed an extension, but it's looking like, does he get another go? Do we put more time into Finn McRae, or is he better off at another club? We'll see what happens there. Mason Cox and Tom Mitchell don't have contracts in front of them. They both have said that they're keen to play on in 2026, whether that's at the Pies or not, we really don't know. Collingwood have told them to wait until the end of the season to see where that sits. I personally, I don't know, something's got to give. You're probably delisting 5 or 6 players, you would think. I think we delisted about 5 or 6 players last season. So you will be delisting probably that many or close to at the end of the year. Do Mason Cox and Tom Mitchell get another go at Collingwood, or do they look to play on at another club? Will Hoskin Elliott, there hasn't been any real contract talks for Will Hoskin Elliott either. We don't know where he sort of stands, hasn't been told to wait or anything like that. So I'm thinking Will Hoskin Elliott either retires or he does get another year. Billy Frampton, you think that they would offer him at least a year, if not a 2-year contract. He's been so important to us this season, and you can just see without him playing for the last 5 or 6 or so weeks, whatever it is, in the seniors, we just miss him. Our backline definitely misses him, and hopefully getting Silvani or some sort of backman in next season will help him out. So Billy Frampton, I would offer him at least 2 years or just a 1-year extension and see how he goes next season. Because you got to remember we do have Reef McGuinness coming back and hopefully manning that back line as well in 2026. And then you've got the curious case of Brody Mihocek. Now, Brody Mihocek's been offered 1 year by the Pies, but by all accounts and by all reports, he's wanting at least 2 years. And why not? Like, this guy has been just battered from pillar to post since making his debut in 2018. Has been just a foundational member of the Pies team since then. Has barely missed a game, only through injury, and I just can't imagine our forward line without Brody Mihocek. I know he's pushing on in age a little bit, but if we can offer Jamie Elliott 2 years, whose body has in the past, not now, touch wood, broken down a little bit, why not offer Brody Mihocek 2 years? Now, these guys are probably only going to be on maybe 400, 450. That's the reported what Pendlebury and Sidey and maybe Jeremy Howe are on a little bit. So, look, I think you have to offer Brody Mihocek that, because if you don't, he's an unrestricted free agent. There's clubs circling him. I'm hearing Sydney, it's being reported that Melbourne are sort of after him. Anyone with a need and a want for a big key forward, or maybe not key, but a big forward who will do the work and will put body on the line every single week. Brody Mihocek is that guy, and someone offers him a little bit more. Collingwood can't match it because he's unrestricted, and he'll leave. I think with these guys, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You need to offer Brody Mihocek 2 years. So the rookie listed players: Markov, Charlie Dean, Noah Howes, Rowan Steele, Ash Johnson, Lockie Sullivan. Of all of those players, the only player that has come out in a sort of article or media talking about him is Lockie Sullivan, who said that they haven't started talks on a deal yet, but we know that Lockie Sullivan has just done his PCL in his knee, and he won't be playing for the rest of the season. Has been really serviceable this year when we needed him, and he stood up exactly when we needed him. Ash Johnson coming back from an injury. Now, Ash Johnson and Oleg Markov were two of the delisted players in 2024, and they got picked up and put on the rookie list. Does that mean that, when you get delisted by a club, you can go on, you're a free agent, you're an unrestricted free agent, so you can move clubs if need be. Do they both find another club, or do they get another contract? Oleg Markov has been playing games in the senior side, started against the Lions and played the entire way through. Charlie Dean, we've persisted with Charlie Dean for a few years now. He came from the VFL. I think he won the best player in the VFL when he was playing for Williamstown, if memory serves me correctly. Does he get a contract extension, or does Silvani and Reef McGuinness coming in and the emergence of the likes of Joel Cochran and TJ constitute him maybe not getting an extension? That we'll see later on in the year. Noah House and Rowan Steele, I think they do get contract extensions. I think they get contract extensions because they have been smashing it in the VFL. Noah House coming off that 4-kick, 4-goal game last week. He's just been kicking bags. He's been really getting into it, and can't wait to see him play alongside Charlie West. And Rowan Steele has played a couple of games with our AFL senior team, and even in the VFL, he's just that mature. But I think he's about 23. A couple of weeks ago, he kicked 4 goals, has done everything right. So I do expect those two to get contract extensions. But some of those names there, I'm just not seeing it at the moment, and those names would be Finn McRae, Mason Cox, Charlie Dean, AJ, Lockie Sullivan. You'd probably give him another year. And I think I don't think they persist with Tom Mitchell. Like, why I think that is because they dropped him for the Brisbane game. If he doesn't come in for the Hawthorn game, I think Tom Mitchell's days are numbered. So that'll be wait and see on there. But it's just amazing news that we get another year of Jeremy Howe, Scott Pendlebury, and Steele Sidebottom, because you think that next year would be their last year. Um, and that's going to be sad. That is absolutely going to be sad. And I'm already down at the moment. I've been feeling crook all day, and just down mentally. So I don't want to think about them retiring. So this has boosted my spirits a little bit. So I'm excited for that. But let me know your thoughts down below on these uncontracted players. Who stays? Who goes? Who are you delisting? Who are you giving a contract extension to? But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.